right, so welcome to our pre-market update on February the 15th. We missed Valentine's Day yesterday, but it was an amazing day in the market. The market had a bounce back from its decline the previous day, and if you'd bought in towards the end of the day, on the previous day, you probably would have woken up to some fabulous profits that you could have sold quite quickly on Valentine's Day. So I hope everyone had a great Valentine's Day. Looking at the 15th today, starting from the top, we can see that futures are in good shape. Crude is up 45 cents, so around $77.09 a barrel based on March futures. And NASDAQ futures are up 13 points. The VIX is around, the volatility index there is around 14, so definitely below 15, above 13. It's kind of hovering in a range, but 14's a good spot for that to be at. If we look at some of the stocks that we're going to have a look at today, so first of all, in energy, Con Ed is set to announce at end of market today. I've been talking about this one for a while, saying that I think it'll get into the low 90 range. It is up $2.11 pre-market. So if we look at that, if you had bought into that in the last couple of days, you could have got a steal of a deal in the 86 range, and it's going to open just shy of $89 today. It also announced a dividend this week, so you've missed that if you didn't own it, but that would have been a nice little add-on to that wait for earnings. We've had some other earnings come out. So other earnings have included CVE, so mixed earnings here. They reported this morning. We're going to have to see what that opens at, but they weren't extremely negative. They just weren't as maybe as positive as they could have been. So I think we're going to probably see a little bit of movement here. A lot of this is just going to be tied to what crude does, and right now crude's up 37 cents. So that bodes well for the oil stocks in particular. I really like SLB and the 47.50 range. So if that has a bit of a decline, I think you could see that go 48 to $49. So a couple of percent move there. You've got MRO releasing as well next week. So this is one to watch leading into their earnings next week. VLO, it's been a roller coaster ride as always. Yesterday, it jumped at market open and then it declined significantly. So if you're following that decline, the way to have read that would have been to look at the multi-month chart and just see where the point of resistance is. So the point of resistance is the drop or the level at which it went to the lowest level that it went to in a recent period, which was around 38.80, 38.20, somewhere in there. And that probably would have been a good indicator to tell you where the stock was going down to yesterday. And it did end up going down to about 38.22. Yeah, if you had picked it up in that range, you would have done really well by the end of the day, obviously. And we'll see what it does at open today. It's been bouncing up in pre-market between 41, in the low 140s all the way up to the low 143s. So it's bouncing around in pre-market, trying to establish a range there as we go into the open. It and the others are going to be tied again, I think, to the crude price. So we'll just have a look and see what it does. A couple of the ones that are off, in my opinion, right now, Exxon undervalued at $100.84. I think this has a potential to get up into the 110, 115 range, but we're not seeing that. And then as we get into the tech sector, strong stocks. So Palo Alto Networks announcing next week. I think this is a good buy right now. If it dips at all, which it did in the pullback this week, it down to about 160, would have been a great time to pick that up, but still some room for movement. Net has been bouncing around after earnings. I think it went up to the 116 range, and now it's down at 104. It dipped to 99 earlier this week. Again, that would have been a nice 4% gain there with movement to go. You've got Microsoft down off of its high of, I think, 422, 420, that area. Again, a solid company, lots of cash. Be wary of ARM, but if you want to get in to a stock that's moving significantly on a day-to-day basis, I mean, up 25, $35 and then down $28 or so, this is one where you can grab a couple of percentage points. You just want to be careful with that and make sure you're watching the charts and the resistance levels to ensure that you get in and out at the right times there. Workday is going to be announcing, I believe, next week, or no, 2 weeks. This is a stock that has done remarkably well over the last couple of years and would be on my to watch list. And then as we scroll through some of the others, your Meta, which is your Facebook, this dropped down into the low 460s and has popped back and recovered. Again, this is a cash generating machine, so definitely one for the radar. If Google opens up down 267 at 144, this is probably a very attractive purchase this morning. It probably should recover, at least if not in the day, in the next couple of days. Another solid organization. And then Adobe is going to announce mid-March, and at the low 600 level, I think this has a lot of volatility and is quite attractive as well. If it pulls back into the 500s, which it did yesterday for a minute or two, would have been a great purchase and a good hold for, say, a 3 to 5 week period until earnings come out. And then you've got SoFi. SoFi's been on a tear. It's up at 842 and looking to start up again today. There's been a pullback in some of the banks. And again, you want to be careful in the regionals because I don't think we've seen the end of the commercial office space paper debacle that's going on behind the scenes and all the mortgage renewals that are coming up this year in the commercial space. So I hope you have a great trading day on the 15th of February.